software. Oh man, it's weird seeing it so tiny and with such a delay. I feel like I'm operating them like one of those robots on Mars where you give a command and it takes 30 minutes to respond. And you don't know how it responded for another 30 minutes either. Alright, I think it's a good time to pause the game. Oh, no. Yeah, just pause the game and go over to the Nintendo Direct. Okay, we're live. The audio's up. I wish Nintendo had some kind of like filler music just to make it so that everyone watching knows it's actually running. So now my monitor is directly in front of me, and my broadcast software is over to the left. And yes, I am tiny and in the corner. I'm way over down here because it's about this. This is what we're here for. We're for what's up there. Me, you can see my face, you can hear my voice, but I'm the least important thing, okay? I see some reactions where people's video, like, you can't even see my helmet, or like a quarter of the screen, and it's like so much of the content's being blocked, and anyone who's choosing to watch this with me, I want them to be able to, you know, see me, I suppose, but also to actually see the content. Okay. Alright, so any moment now it could begin. It's 4:59 and 58 seconds on my atomically synced. Hey, Similarian, thanks for choosing to watch it with me. Hey, For Real Fan, thanks for choosing to watch this with me. Yeah, so I'm a little tiny in the corner. Oh, for real. Yay, made it just in time. I triggered an ad break so that hopefully my viewers who are not... Oh, here we go. Due to COVID-19, release dates and other information are subject to change. Okay. I can't hear. Where's the sound? Where's the sound? Oh, wait. There we go. That was scary. I just hadn't turned it on. Why would I not turn it on? What is this? Pikmin? Okay, I called it. The game that was supposedly, according to Miyamoto, almost ready to launch on Wii U. And then he said, like, we're ready to launch, but we don't know what system it should be on. I shouldn't have said that. And then you don't hear anything for like 5 years, 6 years, whatever. Given the post-apocalyptic nature of this setting, this is a surprisingly well intact household. I played Pikmin 1. Got some new player characters here. I mean, I never played the Pikmin 3, but like, man, if there was ever such a thing as a game that was born for the Wii U gamepad, it would have been Pikmin 3. You to play the demo disc for Pikmin 2, but never fully experienced them. Look fun. The first one's fun, but just like the time limits are kind of stressful, which to an extent is kind of Ice Pikmin. But saying the time limits in Pikmin are stressful and make the game unfun is kind of like saying the Ghosts in Pac-Man make the game stressful and unfun is just part of the game design. But from what I see, I do not see... I mean, there are no interface... They're not... Oh, it's a little... Buppy. It's a Buppy. Sorry. Sorry, For Real Fan. I tried to trigger the ad break. I triggered an ad... That should not have happened. I triggered an ad break, like at 4:56. And so, like, it should have disabled that for the next, like, 30, 40 minutes. Oh, they have picture-in-picture now? Good. Yeah, I'm very sorry about that. We'll have to look into that and make sure I have my ads thing set up right so that when I trigger an ad, because the only reason I care about triggering ads in the settings for them, what a cool monster design right here. This one's a little creepy. But that other one was cool. No, so this little alien Buppy boy is going to be a pretty part of the setting. And yeah, I can't tell how much of this is supposed to be taken seriously in terms of, like, how much of the interface is, like, dummied out for the trailer. But it looked like there was no time of day limits. Like, we go into a course where mission is just day or night. Oh, gosh. What is it with these Nintendo games? Like, so many Nintendo games are set on post-apocalyptic Earth that it's kind of odd.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shinya Takahashi, and I'll be your guide for today's Nintendo Direct. That was the latest trailer for Pikmin 4. A dog-like creature was spotted. What kinds of things will it show us? Please look forward to more information in the future.
Yeah.
Let's see our first batch.
Maybe they're trying to tell
Nintendo
us
Switch
something.
headlines.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
This new hero is a real gem.
A new jewel-loving hero.
Introducing Volume 3 of the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 expansion.
Okay, I have not played
DLC.
any of the games in this series. In the loosest sense possible, once I watched my friend play Xenogears back in, like, the PS1 era. That's the closest I've come to playing any game in this series. Or meta series, or whatever you want to, however you want to describe it.
Select only one character and battle wave after wave of enemies.
No, I mean, these games look cool. It's just that I don't want to play, like, I like playing lots of different games. I don't feel like making a career out of playing one of these games.
And coming in Volume 4 later this year.
Tell me why! Is this really what you want? Nothing's gonna get through to him. He's a heart machine.
Okay.
Like killing Granddad wasn't enough for you?
Volume 3 of the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 expansion pass for the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 game launches on the Nintendo Switch system.
Nintendo has this
February
odd
15th.
way in their official writing. They'll say game, like the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 game. I'm like, we know it's a video game. Come on. But this. When was the last game in this series? I have no idea.
Brand new Samba de Amigo game. Grab your Joy-Con controllers and gently shake them like maracas to match the targets during a song. Follow the instructions on screen to pose.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, it's a revival. Like, because I know I haven't heard of any game in the series in a long time, but I wasn't paying attention either. And it looks like the characters have definitely been, like, sort of revamped and modernized.
Make sure to show up in style too. Compete online in World
Can we get a new
Party.
Jet Set Radio? I mean, I know that Hi-Fi Rush game just came out. I didn't even look into that yet. But, and then there's, like, remember that game from a few years ago, like Bomb Rush Cyberpunk or something like that? I never heard of that game again. Did it just come out and not make a splash? Or is it still, like, a work in progress somewhere?
When Samba de Amigo Party Central shimmies onto Nintendo Switch this
Yeah, we would be a good fit for one of these games to show up on, so.
Got a passion
Is this a
for
style
fashion?
savvy game? I remember.
Welcome to Fashion Dreamer. This
Oh,
is
Fashion
the
Dreamer.
place to glam
It's a
it
new
up
IP,
and
but it
express
reminds me of
yourself.
some of those
Here,
style
you'll aim to
kind
become a
of
stylish
fashion games
influencer.
that were on
And
DS that sort of
you're in luck.
targeted towards.
Tons of people are seeking the
girls.
latest trends.
But and apparently they did really well too.
Or
Who's last
suggest
entry? Don't
new outfits
recall
for
it
them
ever
to
coming out
grow
on
as
Wii
an
U.
influencer.
Well, Wii U didn't even get Pac-Man Versus, which is
Now it's
obviously the game Wii U was designed for to begin with. So if Wii U can't get Pac-Man Versus, I'm not surprised they didn't get a Samba de Amigo
Then add a
game. I
personal
mean Wii U.
touch to give your item a final flourish.
I've never seen Barbie Fashion Show, but judging by the title, I could imagine the nature of the game
Mix and match
and how
your
this could
favorites to
inspire,
create new looks.
be a resemblance.
By connecting online, you can expand your friend circle and grow your brand. Got an eye for fashion? Then get styling
Wow.
when Fashion Dreamer debuts exclusively on Nintendo Switch this year. Delve into into these dark worlds.
All right, let's see what this means.
Dracula's Castle beckons in this new paid DLC for the roguelite action platformer Dead Cells.
Oh.
Venture through the castle's hellish halls and outskirts alongside Richter Belmont and Alucard, leading up to a showdown with Death and Dracula himself.
Wait, is this...
Wield the Vampire Killer and other iconic weapons.
So is this an actual Castlevania title? Because at first, I thought... I never heard... Like, I heard mention of this game, I never followed it much. Okay, so it is a Castlevania game. At first, you missed Pikmin 4. There's an alien Buppy in it. And this Castlevania game, and there's some fashion game for... There's a fashion game for Nintendo Switch coming out. That's basically all you missed.
What was lost as you navigate through a perilous world. Your decisions and the alliance.
I still have not seen the Tron movie. Back right before Tron Legacy was coming out, and it was about to come out in theaters. I went to the library to get a copy of Tron on DVD. They didn't have it, so I'm like, okay, I'll get it on VHS. But they didn't have a VHS copy. They had to like request it from a different library in another town. And so when I went to get the VHS, it is like, okay, this is like the first time this is from like the first VHS release of Tron, and it's been watched to death and it's barely watchable. And anyone who's seen some of the preserved VHS tapes I've run on stream, I'll put up with a lot of deterioration in these tapes, and I've totally missed this game. This could be the best game ever, and I've talked right over it. Okay, Reliet seems to know what's going on.
One suspenseful thriller.
Alright. What is this, some street racing thing? Deca Police. Oh, Decaism. Decaism?
この事件のパズルを解き明かす。まだ30分も経ってないよ。そもそもこの事件には最初から違和感があった。この事件の犯人。
It looks like some virtual reality detective game, huh?
警察だ。おとなしくしろ。
武力兵器の使用はデカバングルにかざして申請よ。
For real fan, he saw Decap and was excited for a Decap Attack revival. Yeah. I never played that game. I think I saw it once. Wasn't that? Hey, cat transformation for the win. Help, I've been turned into a cat. In virtual reality. Deep profile. That's flat out criminal. Hmm. Did he just transform into a bow? Okay.
Once upon a time, there was a
this is that Bayonetta prequel that we got teased at the Game Awards.
Bayonetta's origins as a young witch named Cereza. Seeking the power to rescue her imprisoned mother, she ventures deep into the Avalon Forest ruled by fairies.
I mean, I'm not into like the type of action games Bayonetta is, like the main Bayonetta games, but if this is like a action platformer kind of thing, I might be into this.
Otherworldly demon Cheshire. You'll control both witch and demon at the same time. Harness Cereza's magic and Cheshire's ferocity to travel through this mysterious and dangerous forest. They'll need to work together in battle as well.
Bayonetta made your thumbs hurt? Yeah, it looks like one of those action games where you just... Yeah, no, the game looks gorgeous. And it looks like it's running smooth. They got it running nice and smooth on the Nintendo Switch, even though it's mobile. It's a low-powered mobile chipset that was arguably obsolete back when it came out in 2017. I'm looking pointedly at you, Game Freak.
The duo will gain strength as they continue their journey.
And the only Pokemon news I bet we're gonna get is if they announce like the release date for Pokemon Stadium and then like if they announce Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow for Nintendo Switch Online or as downloads, then like that's the only whatever news on that update for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. That's the only Pokemon news I expect to get.
Please take a look at this.
All right, here we go. Hey, Splatoon! I have not played a single game in this series, but boy, these games are just ooze with style, and I just love the fact that these games exist and that Nintendo made them, because these are like when I first saw Splatoon, my first thought, like when they first revealed it at Nintendo E3 2015, I mean, I remember, you go back and look at the it was E3 2014. If you go back and look at some of the live reactions for the reveal of Splatoon at E3 2014, a lot of the reactions were, oh, I don't care about this, like, who cares about this? Stop, you're wasting time on this. Like, no one even ever heard of this before. And I was like, where do you people beg for new IPs, they show a new IP, and the first reaction is, I've never heard of this before, where's Mario and Zelda? It's like, go figure.
Includes 2 waves of content.
A lot of really lackluster reactions initially, like, on this game. But my first thought when I was in the Nintendo World Store watching this, like, my first reaction was the concept of territory control with the spraying and spreading of ink and paint-based weapons to spread them, and then the transformation from the human form to the snail form, and being able to move fast in your own ink as a snail. I said snail, I mean squid. That's just such a gorgeous mechanic. It's like, yeah, like Relia is saying, reverse Mario Sunshine pretty much. And my first thought, like before the reveal trail was even over, was this is exactly the sort of game I'd excuse me. No, my first reaction was like, this is exactly the sort of thing that I'd see some, like, not indie quite, but some, like, relatively smaller developer come out with for PlayStation or Xbox. And my first thought would be, come on, Nintendo, this could have been you. This is so up your alley. And the fact that Nintendo actually... Yeah, so sorry, all I have to talk about is my impressions of the series from a outsider perspective. For real fans saying Mario Sunshine was your jam, and you had GameCube 100% knows how many times. I only played through it once from beginning to end. So if I get to when I play, I have the All Stars version, the 3D All Stars. When I go ahead and play it, it'll be as close to. I haven't played it since 2002, and it'll be as close to being a fresh thing to me as it possibly could be. Wow, I have not. I just said that I have not played Mario Sunshine in 20 years, and that's a freaky thing to be able to say.
Wave 1 Inkopolis launches this spring. Wave 2 Side Order will launch in the future.
That's cool.
The Splatoon 3
all right, there we go.
Pass will
I'm
be available
going
later today
crazy, go nuts, and I didn't even
eShop.
realize that. Yeah, when I switched to my dual monitor setup, Inkopolis is the hub worlds for Splatoon 1. Okay, so that's interesting.
Thank you all very much.
He talked a lot before the
We hope players
interpretation
will be able
started.
to enjoy the game even more with the upcoming paid expansion pass. Please look forward to more information about Splatoon 3 in the future. Let's see some more Nintendo Switch headlines.
All right. This game looked cool. This is a game I want to play.
Illusion Island. Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, and Goofy.
This looks
Embark on a
cool.
new adventure to find
Or at least it looked
three
cool last time I
magical
saw
books and save the mysterious island of Monoth. Run, jump.
You know, I never played Castle of Illusion, and I do have access. I do have that game. I will go. Let's see when this comes out, and let's see if I could schedule in Castle of Illusion. The anime, all these original characters and the animation on them is fantastic. Like Donald Duck actually flapping his arms to flutter a bit. That's great. I have Crazy I have Crazy Castle for Game Boy. Wait, Crazy Castle? Are you talking about the Crazy Castle series on Game Boy and Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance, or Castle of Illusion? Because those are both games series that involve Mickey Mouse. And I never got to play Epic Mickey either. That's a game I'm sure I could get very cheap. Yeah, okay, so you specifically meant Crazy Castle, which has been a Roger Rabbit game, a Woody Woodpecker game, and a Bugs Bunny game, and a Mickey Mouse game.
Join Mickey and friends
so yeah,
on a high-flying adventure in Disney Illusion
what's the
Island,
release date for this?
July
July 28th?
July 28th.
Okay, so how about earlier in July? I'll see if I can pencil in Castle of Illusion, because that's a game I've had my eyes on since the early '90s when I first saw it in posters for its Game Gear version, I think. It's a game I knew about, and I just never I actually I did a thing in Project.
Hector, emblem of strength.
Yeah, it's Kawaii Emblemu. Or
Soren, emblem of acumen.
Emblem of Acumen. Okay.
Camilla.
Yeah, didn't this game like just come out like a week ago or something? I do not follow Fire Emblem at all, so.
Wave 3 includes
Yeah, no, Reliet nailed it. VTuber Emblem. Yeah, a lot of those custom, like when you go to a site and just assemble your own 2D VTuber thing, like a lot of them do look like this art style. No, I'm sure. No, Epic Mickey looked great. I remember like when for that first, like the concept art for Epic Mickey like was released. Somehow Warren Spector got permission to share the concept art for the pitch for Epic Mickey before the game was greenlit. And people were like, there's no way Disney's actually going to greenlight this game. And it took years before they actually did.
Wave 2 of the Fire Emblem Engage expansion pass for the Fire Emblem Engage game launches.
Man, to think that Fire Emblem Awakening was supposed to be like the finale for the series. And there was question as to whether or not it would even get a release in North America.
This is Reverie, a world in which deities known as aspirations dwell. When a megacorp endangers the harmony between Reverie and our world, the future.
Huh? Oh, okay. It's like a multiple world story. I was about to say, I'm like, what are these security cameras in this fantasy world?
Harness your divine gift of clairvoyance to travel between worlds. See the future.
I can't say I would play this game if I had a whole lifetime to play nothing but play games in. But the themes and sort of ideas are sort of up my alley.
Eventually, you'll side with one of the 6 aspirations like Bond, power, or chaos to change the story's outcome. To which destiny do you aspire?
Oh, the sky there, that was some sky hype right there.
On Nintendo Switch this June. These games will have you rolling.
What? Metroid? Oh no. Rolling. Like I thought they were saying like the ing from the shadow creatures from Metroid Prime 2 Echoes.
The game's opening hours will be available on Nintendo eShop.
Yeah, it does look like a visual novel kind of thing, and I'm not against that. As far as the more dating sim type style visual novels, there are a couple I'd play, but they're kind of goofy. Like something like Hatoful Boyfriend, where it's like kind of, it's tongue-in-cheek. It's not like super seriously trying to be a substitute for human interaction. I never played a single game in this series. And I remember back on PlayStation 2, I was shocked that they even brought this to North America, and I'm glad they did.
New features include playing as the young king of all cosmos in 5 new challenges.
I guess he would have been the prince of all cosmos. I mean the prince is our current character, I guess, so I don't know.
We Love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie comes to Nintendo Switch June 2nd.
I have not played any games in this series
Nintendo
before.
Switch online members can play a free game trial of Katamari Damacy Reroll.
It's like it's like schedules, like when you're on the old Super Famicom's the Teleview system. as they
Traverse a breathtaking world,
broadcast, like when the satellite was only broadcasting at certain times.
and devastate
Like
foes
that's
with
so odd. Why not just have a demo that you could play and
Complement your
have the demo
journey
be
with
time
enchanting
sensitive?
melodies and retro-inspired tunes from the renowned Yasunori
For real
Mitsuda.
fans saying they liked
Guest
Hatoful Boyfriend
composer
with
for
a
the
guy,
game.
then you got the true story. It went dark
Sea
super
of
quick.
Stars
All right,
sails
that
onto
sounds
Nintendo
interesting.
Switch, August 29th. A free demo will launch later today on
Yeah,
Nintendo
I'll
eShop.
someday in the eventual future. Yeah, Hatoful Boyfriend.
Online multiplayer showdown.
Yeah, Hatoful Boyfriend. Doki Doki Literature Club, which I understand is kind of a subversion of the genre with some horror elements. And also Angels with Scaly Wings. I've heard of.
Gain the advantage.
Yeah, like those are like the sort of visual novels I'd play. I wouldn't play something that was sort of too serious.
Slides onto
You
Nintendo
play,
Switch,
for real fans saying you just didn't care for the playthrough 30 mini-stories to unlock the true story gimmick, but Hatoful Boyfriend took about 2 hours to burn through the mini-story endings to unlock the true story. Oh, okay.
Back into the sprawling labyrinth. A collection of the first 3 Etrian Odyssey games is coming to Nintendo Switch remastered.
It's another
in
3
HD.
hours working through the true story.
Many
Okay, so
treasures
that's
lie
like,
deep within a massive labyrinth.
I mean, my Saturday streams I aim to be about 4 hours
And
long.
vicious monsters lurk in the
So if
shadows.
I did
A blank
like,
map is your
that's
only
like
guide.
2 or 3 or 4 weeks maybe.
Drawing the
That's
map as you
interesting.
explore,
That
you can
doesn't sound
progress
too
even
unscalable.
further. Venture
I think
into
the
the
longest
labyrinth
game it
with
took me to
5
beat was
adventurers.
Paper Mario.
As the guild leader, you'll assign
You
them
know, and I
roles
was playing like 4
Allied
hours,
defending
you know,
protector
4 or 5
or
hours,
ultra-fast
sitting
Dark
for
Hunter.
a set, not counting, you know, including the time when I took off to play Super Mario 3D World.
Should you fall in battle, you can change your team and learn new skills to strengthen your party.
Yeah,
before
I'm never
challenging the
gonna play a
labyrinth
deep,
again.
like, hardcore RPG like this.
24 newly drawn
I mean, and
character
Pokemon Mystery
illustrations
Dungeon is
included.
on the kiddie pool end of these sorts of
Plus, take advantage
RPGs,
of new difficulty
and
options and
I
the new auto
even
mapping
that's a
function
little
for
even that I don't
smoother
enjoy so much,
exploration.
and it's a shame because I love the world and the characters and the concepts of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but the actual battles, like, I'm not into the way the battles are conducted.
On Nintendo eShop.
For real fans saying Paper Mario going for 100% first playthrough, the big fat strategy guide took you 3 months of playing for 2 or 3 hours a night. Yeah, not me. I'm glad you. Oh my! It's not canceled. It's not canceled. It's actually releasing. Will they?
All strategy
Will they
fans.
change the name of the game? Oh, they kept the name the same too.
Join Andy, Max,
I know.
Sammy,
I'm sure. I wonder what elements they've reworked
each one filled with colorful
in
turn-based
light of
tactical
recent
action.
real-world events.
Flex your strategic muscles across a multitude of modes. Design your own maps. and
Yeah, it's
share
gonna
them
be.
with
I didn't even
friends.
think of this.
Plus,
It's gonna be
hand-to-hand
interesting to
in
see
local
what
and
elements
online
based
play.
on what we saw previously
Advance Wars 1+2 reboot
to
came
to
Nintendo
rework
Switch
this to
April
play
21st.
to
Pre-orders
evoke less
begin
imagery from
today
real
on
life
Nintendo
conflict.
eShop.
Because even back with the original Advance Wars on the original American release of Advance Wars on Game Boy Advance. Oh, it looks like we're due for a Kirby
A
game
new
potentially.
story will unfold in the Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe game.
Oh yeah, I never played Kirby's Return to Dreamland, so this is going to be
Megalord,
fully new to
the
me.
Interdimensional traveler from the main adventure has lost his powers and must
But
escape
for
the
Advance
realm
Wars,
between dimensions.
even back in 2001, like pre 9/11, with the preview material for Advance Wars, they were actually like they were even conscious and like self-conscious in Nintendo Power. Like real war is never fun, but this strategy game is a great time, and they had to make sure to say like not to sort of disassociate this from real life armed conflict.
With magic points, different abilities can be restored and enhanced. Improve
And I know people have
Megalord's
pointed out like, oh, there's wars going on all over the
increases
world. Why
attack
is
range.
Nintendo? Why did Nintendo delay Advance Wars Reboot Camp because of the war between Russia and Ukraine? And you know that's so hypocritical. But I'm like, yeah, like there are wars going on in lots of parts of the world, but in this case, Nintendo actually has like regional divisions operating in some of the countries involved in the conflict, which is another factor to consider.
Can Megalord restore his powers and safely return to his world? You can access this
Yeah, I mean, there was
dialogue
speculation that
after clearing story
Advance
mode.
Wars Reboot Camp was going to be like Nintendo Pennant Chase, one of those games that was 100% complete, weeks away from shipping, and just locked away forever
After today's
because the
Nintendo
market had
Direct,
changed.
A demo will be available on Nintendo eShop.
Oh, that's cool.
Up to 4 players can
Heck,
play
I need to
specially
get a
arranged
new
demo with
copy.
select stages and
Like my childhood copy of
Kirby's
Kirby's
Return to
Dreamland, I
Deluxe
sold that
launches
even
on
back in the
Nintendo
90s
Switch
to
system
Funko Land.
February
I need to get a fresh copy of
Pre-orders
that
are
game,
available now
a
on
new
Nintendo
copy of the
eShop.
game to play on stream. Because we played Kirby's Adventure, but never the
You're looking
original.
Forward to the new story in Kirby's Return to Dreamland.
I feel like something
Deluxe.
big's about to come.
Next, here's some news about Nintendo Switch Online.
Come on, Game Boy!
Please take a look.
Game
at
Boy,
this.
if we could get Bomberman 64, well, we already have Bomberman 64 on Wii U, so that would kind of be a waste, but yes! 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 I mean, I have the original
Game
cartridge
Boy
for this
games are
one,
being
but
added to Nintendo Switch Online.
Pokemon.
On Nintendo Switch, you can play these games.
I mean, I have the
anytime,
original cartridge for
anywhere,
this
just
too,
like you
but
could back in the day.
do you have the option to play the black and white version? Oh, they got the rights to Tetris!
Games that will be available at launch.
They got the rights to Tetris back!
Tetris.
That's amazing.
Arrange the
That's
following Tetraminos and aim for a high score. Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins.
Yeah, so we can look forward to getting like 3 or 4 new games for this each year from now
Legend
on.
of Zelda, Link's Awakening DX.
Only the DX option. They should have the black and white option too. This is like watching a colorized black and white movie to me. I experienced the game in black and white. I want the option to play it that way.
Gargoyle's Quest. Save the Ghoul Realm as Firebrand from the Ghosts and Goblins series. Game & Watch Gallery.
Yeah,
3.
now here's a.
Assortment of Game & Watch
This is
titles.
good. This is a nice one.
Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare.
I never knew
Solve a
this
murder
existed.
mystery on the supernatural Shadow Island. Metroid 2, Return of
I have the
Samus.
original cartridge,
Destroy
but
the
nice,
Metroids
nice.
hiding on planet SR-388. Wario Land 3.
Like
Traverse
any
the world
game
that changes
that
between
I was going to add to my
Kirby's
collection that is released through the service, I will play it on Nintendo Switch Online instead.
Dreamland.
Perhaps except for this one.
Enemies and Kirby's
Come on, how could I not own a copy of this? And plus, playing it on the Analog Pocket,
You can use the Game
and
Boy
I use the Analog
Game Boy
Pocket to
Pocket.
play my original Game Boy
or
games.
Game Boy Color screen filters.
What?
Two players
Now
can
that's
play
cool.
games together locally or
But
online.
speaking of screen filters, that's the point I was going to make. The Analog Pocket.
More games will be added in
So
the future.
Zelda Ages and Seasons, I will play through this service.
And
Pokemon. Here it comes. Oh, Game Boy Advance. Nintendo. Who did they tie up and lock in the closet at Nintendo headquarters to make all of this happen at once?
here are the games that you can play at launch.
Super Mario Brothers 3.
Advance
Okay.
4, Super Mario Brothers 3.
Okay, with the
38
e-reader
extra
levels.
From the Nintendo e-reader accessory.
Nice.
WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro
I have
Games.
this on,
Experience the
Wii U
origins of the
already.
Lightning fast micro games. Kuru Kuru Kururin.
Nice.
Spinning strips
This
of
game,
gold
it is
without
so...
obstacles.
No, never before has a game balanced between
Mario Kart
comfy
Super Circuit.
and
Race in the
and
first Mario
like
Kart game
like
created for the
hardcore.
system.
It's the most comfy hardcore
Mario
game ever.
Luigi Superstar
Another
Soccer.
great game I'm
Venture
glad
through
is in
a
here. A
same
game I have
world
not
and
played
play
since
with
its
people
release.
same
I have the original cartridge. I'll be playing it. Any game where I have the cartridge, I will be playing the Game Boy Advance version now.
Shrink to miniature size and dive into a big adventure.
Yeah, these games matter. This
Locally
just
online
sold a
play
Switch
support
to
for
For Real
compatible
Fan.
games, and up to 4 players can play together.
Local or online, fantastic.
More games will be added to this
Metroid
library as
Fusion. Come on, Pokemon. Pokemon, come on.
well. After this presentation, you can play these Game Boy
Nah,
titles
I
with
don't
the
think we're
Nintendo
gonna get
Switch
it
Online
today.
membership. Or play both Game Boy and Game Boy Advance titles with the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack membership.
Oh,
Select Game Boy titles will be playable.
nice,
on the
nice
Nintendo Switch.
cross cut there.
After today's Nintendo Direct, you'll be able to play the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance titles we introduced.
Okay, so it's launching today.
Please look forward to more information about Nintendo Switch Online and Nintendo
This is
Switch
the first
Online
time
Plus expansion
Nintendo
pack
has
in the
ever
future.
made handheld games playable, available digitally on a system that's that's a home system.
Metroid
Yes.
game is remastered on
Yes.
Nintendo Switch.
Now, please have option for like the original control style. Now, this is a game I will. This is a game I would buy. This is a game I would buy. Hopefully, they streamlined that quest for those hieroglyphic things at the end. It looks nice. Yeah, please have the option for the original control scheme, as well as the, like, more Metroid Prime 3 style controls. Yeah, like, cause I don't play first-person shooters. I can't get into first-person shooters. Metroid Prime 1 and 2, I enjoyed a whole lot. Metroid Prime 3 lost me because it became more like a first-person shooter in terms of the controls. So this is going to be a good opportunity for you, Reliat.
Originally released on the Nintendo GameCube system, has been remastered for Nintendo Switch. Explore Talon 4 from the perspective of Samus Aran. But beware, there's more to this alien planet than
Please, no, I'm gonna say it right now. If this game does not have the options to have the original style controls from the GameCube version, I will not buy this game. If it is only like the traditional first-person shooter dual-axis, dual-stick controls, or like the Metroid Prime 3 motion controls, I will not buy this game because I know I will not enjoy it.
the lock-on feature, then fight back with beams, missiles.
Oh yeah. You know, I do not keep up with Arlo, but occasionally I'll hear some news or think like, I wonder what Arlo has to say about this, and go and see what he's been up to.
While separately changing your point of view.
Oh,
Also select a control style that recreates the feel of the original.
yes, 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 sold to the man in the blue hoodie. We're doing this.
The digital version of Metroid Prime Remastered launches on Nintendo eShop later today. The physical version of the game will be available in stores February 20th.
Today? Why not? Go for it. Yeah, Nani?
This is the World Detective Organization.
Give us some time to cool down with whatever this is, so anyone who's interested in this sort of aesthetic is going to hop right onto this, and they're just carried along, and then everyone who's not into this and is blown away with hype for the Metroid Prime announcement can relax their brains a bit and discuss the lovely news that just dropped.
Each one has a supernatural ability that can prove useful during investigations. Mimic body types and voices with disguise. Detect heartbeats and whispers with audio aptitude. And witness past crime scenes with post-cognition. These abilities can be shared with Yuma.
So this is post-cognition.
So
Yeah,
use them
I'm-
to get closer
yeah.
to cracking a
Yeah,
case.
no,
After
no,
collecting
it's like
enough evidence, a
Metroid
mystery
Prime,
labyrinth
they said it was, I guess, releases today, and that there's going to be a physical version too.
Spot the inconsistencies and uncover the truth. Master Detective Archives.
Oh yeah, I don't know whether or not my dad is watching this, but if he's not, because he's into game stuff, he doesn't really follow game news, I will go on Amazon and buy him a copy and just mail it straight to his house, and he'll just be like, son, what is this? And he opens it, like, oh, they did Metroid Prime for the Switch, so that'd be cool.
Empire's conspiracy looms closer.
This looks
As
neat,
spirits dwelling within the protagonists,
but not for me. Is this Baten
you
Kaitos?
stand up to the Empire across two different eras of war.
Is this Baten
During your
Kaitos?
travels,
It is?
visit
Okay.
various
No, it's
locales
funny.
and
I have
choose
never played this game. I've never watched a trailer for it, but like, I already recognized, like, it has a very distinctive art style.
Magnus.
That was one of those games that on Nintendo GameCube was like one of those
Of your cards,
games
which
that
are randomly
really,
dealt from the deck.
like, when you were arguing with someone on the school bus that Nintendo GameCube didn't have games, this was like, you know, good exclusives. This was one, other than, you know, the Nintendo published ones, this is one of those games that was frequently mentioned.
And the lands below.
And having been in,
Kaidos 1 and 2 HD
you know,
Remaster
in the-
soars onto Nintendo Switch this summer. Dive into your new fantasy life.
I'm guessing this is literally Fantasy Life. Because I know there's a series called that, but I just don't know what it looks like, what the aesthetic is, the art style. Okay. Fantasy Life, the girl who steals time.
Thriving island. You'll meet a a mysterious girl.
A mysterious girl.
Then travel between past and present.
I remember seeing the one who said speedrun
The
for...
island your own.
I don't know what RRLAGT is, so I can't, but there's a little box in the corner. If you guys, it took so long
Blacksmith,
to 100% speedrun. Wow.
paladin, magician, and more. Take on different roles to develop the island.
Oh wait, isn't this that Game Freak? Is this that Game Freak game?
This
Didn't Game
life
Freak
is
have some
yours to
title?
live.
Some kind of... No, that was like Town or something. That game they're working on in the 3DS era,
The
but they're a
restoration
secondary
is
team.
about to begin. Fantasy Life On.
Really, really long game of thongs. RPG speedrun marathon that happens every year. Okay, Little Town Hero. I know they announced it as Town. I forgot what the final name was, so thanks, Reliat. What's this? Steampunk? Oh, Layton. Professor Layton in the New World of Steam. Were the original, like, Layton games, like, this heavy on the steampunk elements? And I've never...
Yoshi's Island. A brand new course is zooming into wave
Oh, this...
four of the Mario Kart Deluxe Booster
Oh,
Course
look at
Pack
this.
DLC.
This is hype. This is hype. And I have never played Mario Kart 8 online before.
Birdo, who originally hit the track in Mario
Come on, let me
Kart
play... Can I play as Koopa
also being
Troopa?
added to
Can I
wave
play as
4.
Koopa Troopa? And choose my shell color. Oh, you can choose Birdo's color. Come on, now it's possible. Koopa Troopa with color choice with shell. No, that's all we're getting. That's all we're getting.
Booster Course Pack
That's all we're
DLC
getting.
For the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe game races onto the Nintendo Switch system this spring.
Man, the Nintendo eShop logo, when it's written like that, looks so much like the modern logo for like Nickelodeon. It's distracting to me.
The DLC can also be purchased on its own.
I've considered playing Minecraft just for the sake of building stuff. Oh yeah, this game. This is gonna be that game right there. It's gonna be another one of those indie games, those artsy indie games where you play as an animal and something horrible happens to one of them at the end, or both of them. You know it. Whenever there's an indie game with animals, it's always like that. And it does look cool. I would check it out, but oh yeah, Pete's gonna be all over that one. Come on, okay, so we're getting our sizzle reel. Next, we're definitely having a Battle.net collection. Yeah, I mean that's something I was going to buy the games individually on Nintendo Switch. Those were on my hit list of last games to buy before it goes offline. So as soon as they announced that, I'm like, yeah, I don't have to buy those all separately on Nintendo Switch anymore. Seeing humans in the same universe as The Lion King is very distracting. Even though arguably, Lion King is supposed to take place at the same time as
Thank you for staying
Disney's
with us so
Hercules.
far. This will be our last segment.
Okay, here comes
Please take a
Zelda.
look.
This is going to be our blowout trailer, I expect. Or plot explanation trailer. Because at this point, we knew more about Breath of the Wild before its release at this point than we do for the Tears of the Kingdom. We get the beginnings of an explanation as to what the heck's going on, why there's floating islands and all that. No, it was. I understand it was like sort of a spin-off crossover sort of game.
Rise, my servants. Sweep over Hyrule.
Ganondorf?
This kingdom and her allies. Leave no survivors.
The canon voice of Ganondorf, potentially. Oh man, look at this. Oh, cool.
But Link, I am not sure you'll be able to stop him.
Da-na-na. Man, this theme slaps. Oh man, look at this. Oh! Are we crafting machines in this game? That's trailer. Each of these, there might be some big secret, some big surprise in this game, because even this trailer shows so little.
Please, lend him your power.
No, I agree, For Real Fan. I like that they're being rather conservative. Why did I think March? No, it's May. So yeah, so there's still probably going to be another big trailer.
That was The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, the latest entry in the Legend
May
of
12.
Zelda
Why did I
series.
think? Why did my brain? I guess.
In addition to the standard version, a collector's edition of the game containing
Alright.
various items will release on launch day. A new amiibo figure of Link from this game will also be available on the same day. We hope you're looking forward to Link's latest grand adventure. That's all for today's Nintendo Direct. Thank you for watching.
All right, so let me go swap back to Pokemon Pinball for a short while, and then we'll call the stream while we discuss the announcements. Alright, I'm back. Hey, and we have 15 minutes till the hour, so let's just set the timer for 15 minutes. We'll play for another 15 minutes to Alright. Yeah, there we go. And let's set Nintendo Direct, and no, we want... Yeah, there we go. And where's Direct? And yeah, there we go. And we just need... Oh, okay. You could just slide this bad boy over.
Well, happy Saturday and welcome again to the...
I have no idea what's going on there. We'll just close that out. And we could also close out, let's see. Yeah, we'll close my... Alright, let me catch up with chat. Pokemon Pinball was one of the carts you played way too much of on your GBA. Yeah, I didn't get Pokemon Pinball until, what, 2012 or 13 or something. I had a job at a dollar store with a measly little pathetic break they might as well not have given me. And so I had a few minutes to play, and I'm like, well, I have my Game Boy. I had to put, at first they wouldn't let us put locks on on our lockers in the break room. So I was like, okay, let me, if I have to keep while I'm here, if I have to keep my stuff in an unlocked locker, then I'm not gonna put my DS in. I'm gonna use my Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Micro, because that's like older, less desirable. If one of my coworkers wanted to help me lose it for me, and I just had like a little pack of like a couple of Oreos and a little juice box that I actually bought from the store, and in advance, so that way I didn't have to waste time trying to buy stuff during my break. And actually, why don't I? Why am I not? Oh, why can I not hear? Can you all hear the music? I can't hear the Game Boy music for whatever reason. Which is odd. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I could hear it before, and I didn't change any of the settings relating to the capture of the audio. But as long as y'all could hear the music, then it's fine. You hear it? Okay. If y'all could hear it, then I'll worry about it on my end after the stream. I'll probably just have to restart. It's probably just because of me unplugging in stuff out of my capture card and plugging it back in midstream, which I usually don't do. Sometimes I have problems when I do that. But yeah, Metroid Prime, very happy that that's going to be available. That's something I will. And the fact that you have the option for traditional first-person shooter controls that have an emphasis on aiming and marksmanship, as well as the traditional controls, which are very casual friendly, and basically, like, the original controls for Metroid Prime basically made it control in the manner of a first-person platformer rather than a first-person shooter, and that's why I was able to enjoy it so much. Yeah, it's something I'd be looking into in the future, but nothing I'll be, yeah, it's something depending on how things go, it's something I'd maybe like to play by the end of the year. Yeah, there's certain elements I'm introducing into my stream that, hold on, and it has a certain impact on what games I'm going to be playing. Like the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance stuff, that's fantastic. Like, let's see, the fact that being able to play, the less often I have to switch consoles, the more convenient it is. So being able to play something like Kuru Kuru Kururin, now that that's on Nintendo Switch Online, I can play that as a warm-up game for another Nintendo Switch game without having to switch consoles. And that will have a bit of an impact on some of my final Wii U Virtual Console releases. I wish we had gotten some news on... It's funny, I never would have thought that we would get Game Boy and Game Boy Advance at the same time. I thought they would have doled those out, because if just Game Boy alone would have been big enough of a deal to get a lot of headlines, then they could have dropped Game Boy Advance like midsummer or something like that. But then when it comes time to play, like Super Mario Land 2, that's a game that I plan to cover within, like, by, like, the end of the spring, perhaps. But that's a game, I already have the physical copy of it for, that I can play on the Analog Pocket. And what I plan to do, since I've beaten Super Mario Land twice on stream in a single sitting, and that's a game where I could play Super Mario Land as a warm-up in just, like, an hour or less and gradually get better at that, then go into Super Mario Land 2 as my main game of the session. So, there are certain things where having the cartridges, even, like, the physical cartridge actually gives me more to work with and more versatility in terms of, ways I could do my stream easily without having to swap equipment and swap audio levels a lot midstream. Because when games are on the same system, it generally is the case that you don't have to swap the audio levels as often. But I mean, I do all my audio balancing before I start the stream anyway. But for instance, perfect example, like, there are games the fact that they are going to be official official color filters for Super Mario Land 2 is going to be interesting. I'll try that just to see how that works. But the one thing, the Analog Pocket gives you a lot more options with your filters and the way the games are displayed than it looks like the Game Boy options for the Nintendo Switch Online Game Boy titles will. So because of that, the Game Boy will be the preferred means of playing it, and the fact I like that, that pixel. You saw, those of you who were here for my stream last night, where I was playing Space Invaders and Alleyway, both for Game Boy. The way you could play in that that pixel perfect mode where it actually simulates the green screen of like a DMG 001 model Game Boy, and like you could see like the pixels, like you know, you actually see the huge pixels of the screen. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and it looks great in my layout. Because of that alone, if unless, let's say they released something that's rare and expensive on Nintendo Switch Online's Game Boy service, such as Trip World, I would play that on Nintendo Switch Online, because I prefer playing official versions. But that's a game where if it never comes out on Nintendo Switch Online, I would use a reproduction cart or other means that aren't... Excuse me, I need to get a sip. Yeah, I love how they did that joke, a Jigglypuff seen from above in one of those early episodes of Pokemon. I believe it's within the first 50 episodes even. And then when Pokédex 3D came out, you could actually rotate the model of Jigglypuff, and you looked at a Jigglypuff from above. The ears were like more towards the back of the 3D model, so it made it asymmetrical. For those who don't know, there's a joke in one of the early Pokemon episodes where Ash is in like a Pokemon school and he has to take a quiz on identifying the outlines of certain Pokemon. So there's a perfectly round silhouette. So you think, oh, that's going to be a Voltorb or Electrode, and then they fill it in and it's like, oh, it's a Jigglypuff seen from above, because it's like, oh, it's perfectly round. Yeah, the shadow made it look like a. Oh, did they say a Pokeball, or did they actually say Voltorb or Electrode? I watched those original episodes of Pokemon once when they came out, once they were aired on more, pre-dawn, before school broadcast television. And then I watched them again when they were available online in like 2007 or 8. Each summer, yeah, it was summer during early college. No, it was actually kind of later in college, but yeah, because Jesse and James were in disguise, I believe. All right, and up. Yeah. Now the ball, yeah, to get your Pikachu ball save when you have it active, you actually have to have Pikachu be on that side of the flipper. So, is there any other thoughts on the Nintendo Direct? This is one of the best Nintendo Directs in quite a while. Absolutely fantastic. And Nintendo really hit it out the park, I'd say. Yeah, it's pretty much like I knew Game Boy and Game Boy Advance was always, or Game Boy or Game Boy Advance was always a possibility, but the fact that it's one of those things that they could sit on for, they could have sat on this for another year potentially. I don't know, like, they could have also done this years ago. So it's hard to call, but I didn't specifically predict it until right before they announced it, I think. But as soon as they said Nintendo Switch Online, I was like, I mean, I don't give myself credit for that. Once they say Nintendo Switch Online, that's one of those obvious things you could guess, and have a pretty high chance of being correct. And I was actually well, what I did say was I expected Game Boy on Nintendo Switch Online. Well, actually, I did predict it in the lead-up when I was playing Pokemon Pinball before the Direct. That I predicted that in the context that they would... You know what? It's crazy. I'm surprised Super Mario Land wasn't on there. Yeah, where's Super Mario Land? You'd think that would be one of the more obvious ones. I don't think Super Mario Land was on there. They definitely placed emphasis on Super Mario Land 2. And we're out. I keep remembering that I have the tilt option with the B button. And yeah, this is a wild week. I'm gonna be playing 4 doggone days this week. I mean, streaming 4 days this week. Yeah, Octopath Traveler 2 is going to be cool. I'm never going to play it. Yeah, I expected them to sort of dole those out. And yeah, that's another thing. Like, they could have split up Game Boy from Game Boy Color as well. Now, in hindsight, like, for official purposes, Nintendo now considers Game Boy and Game Boy Color to be the same platform. They kind of treat Game Boy Color as like the DSi to Game Boy's DS, where it's just an iterative version where there are a few exclusives, but it's ultimately the same platform. But at the time, back in 1998, Nintendo actually really did, like in their other literature and their promotional material, they treated Game Boy Color with the language and they treated Game Boy Color as though it were the launch of a new platform, effectively. But in hindsight, it's a reasonable argument that Game Boy Color is just like an extension of the Game Boy generation. Like, even a lot of the most famous Game Boy Color games, like what we think of as Game Boy Color games, like Pokemon Gold and Silver, those were backwards compatible with the original black and white Game Boy. Yeah. Oh yeah, Kalakaboy. I wouldn't have. Too bad. Yeah, if that new Mario platformer was a thing, then I guess they decided to sit on it for a while, or it was just fake to begin with. I mean, a 2D Mario platformer that's not a new Super Mario Brothers game, that sounds like something that could exist. And, well, I know there was a rumor that Kalakaboy mentioned that there was going to be a new side-scroller Mario game that wasn't a new Super Mario Brothers game, which is something I've been clamoring for years. But I really think that if that does exist, and let's say it's finished, ready to ship, they just have to announce it, that would be the sort of thing to release maybe after the Mario movie, because they're expecting the Mario movie to be a big hit, and there's going to be a lot of energy directed at the Mario brand, and that would be like, you know, maybe a couple of months, maybe around the time that the Super Mario Brothers movie hits. I almost said home video, but around the time it hits streaming and Blu-ray would be a good time to release something like that, I think. Yeah, anything that got leaked, Nintendo canceled the announcement of. Which is actually not too far from that's a pretty Nintendo-y thing to actually do. There's that story of how Nintendo was in deep negotiations to begin development on a Legend of Zelda series to be on Netflix, and because like someone leaked that this was going on, Nintendo backed out. So, how wild is that? Nintendo just like, oh, you can't keep a secret? Bye. Just vanish this project of the cornfield. Sony just sits there and goes, okay, well, here's the 3 games with Plus that were leaked 3 days prior. Hey, and we're out of time. You know what? I didn't hear... You know what? I think I'm just not hearing the sound out of my headphones, because I have a chime that I could hear on my timer. I did not hear that. But let's go to... Yeah, I don't hear any of the music. You know what? Did I? Oh. You know what? I think I accidentally unplugged. No, I couldn't have. Okay. Anyway. Yep, so I'll be back tomorrow, Thursday, the 10th. No, the 9th. The 9th. What am I going... excuse me. Yeah, the 9th. I'll be playing an hour of Super Mario Odyssey, still part of my first playthrough. And then we'll do my our ongoing high score storytime feature. We'll listen to a chapter of a comfy and adventuresome steampunk audiobook. And then we'll discuss the chapter afterwards, and all while I play Nintendo's Versus Pinball. So, high score, playing Versus Pinball, and storytime with the audiobook. So, thanks everyone. Let's see who's around. Let me take a look who's around. How about, you know what? I think I don't get a chance to raid them that often, but so why don't I? This is kind of gonna be one of those left turn kind of raids, but I have my pal Harbis is streaming Crisis, and his PC has the specs to play it, and he's a VTuber. So if you want to just go in and say hi, if you want to do a raid message, H-Train has arrived in the station. So I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching.